out here working non-stop. The fastest growing podcast, we gon' make it to the top. Say word. Hey, we in the game, you know we different. Just tune in, my family Joe, he got the vision.
Yo, another episode of the world's fastest, largest growing podcast. Y'all know who I am. We back in my hometown, Annabelle, Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Just got off a plane yesterday. We feeling good. But I got one of the dopest producers in the game right now. Billboard, charts, rich nigga.
Nah, not there yet, but I'm working. It's Cartune Beatz checking in on the Say Word podcast. Appreciate you for having me,
Man, I appreciate you, man, taking time out your busy schedule. I'm going to start from the beginning, though, man. How'd you get into this game, producing, the tracks, all that?
I started in 2012. I really just, I had FL Studio, which is the beat making program that I use. I started just making beats for fun. It was really just something that I just like to do for fun. At that time, I was still in school, in college. I played like a little bit of junior college basketball. So I wanted to take it a little bit more serious when I started posting my beats on like SoundClick, SoundCloud, stuff like that. And I started to get feedback, and people was like, yo, you should really try to do something with these. These are good enough, to have people use. So I jumped on Twitter. I gave myself my producer name, Cartune Beatz, and I took off from there because at that time, the algorithms wasn't funny. Mm-hmm. Twitter was new. That gave you the ability to reach anybody, if they respond to a tweet or they follow you back, celebrities that are in the music industry that you don't have to like necessarily wait outside a studio and catch them coming out. If they see you online, they might respond. So I started DMing artists, tweeting at them, like, follow me, trying to send you beats. I started utilizing, like, sometimes back in the day when they used to tweet out like a beat email, send beats to this. So I started like that. And I started getting hits back from artists. So that was how I started.
Who's some of the artists? Give me some of your first artists you started with, like in the game.
The first one that was at the time a major placement was an artist from Jersey, Dricky Graham. He was just blowing up. He had the platinum song "Snapbacks and Tattoos."
Okay.
And I just got in touch with him as that was blowing up. And I ended up on back when Dat Piff was that thing. I was on his debut mixtape with 2 songs. Hosted by DJ Ill Will. After that, I just kept reaching out. We were speaking off camera. I'll let you know that I got a track with Drummer Boy and DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia from sending Drummer Boy beats. But
how does that even work though? Like, I'm gonna go back for a minute because when you said you sending Drummer Boy beats, I want the world need to understand this real fast. We talk about Drummer Boy Fresh, legendary
D-Boy Fresh,
legendary producer. I put on for my city, the Kanye joint.
Yeah, also, like, his resume is crazy.
Yeah, his resume is like ridiculous. Also Plies, Shorty. Like, that's my son. When he come to the town, so whenever he come to the town, he hit me. That's my son. So how does that work when you sending him beats? Because he's usually the one that's sending other people beats.
Well, as you probably know, he's also an artist. He could rap.
Okay.
And he did like projects. He rapped with the best of them. He was on songs with like DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia and a bunch of other legends. So I saw, like, we followed each other, but I saw that he's worked on a project. I DM'd him.
Okay.
He gave me his email. I sent some beats. He picked out 2 of them, and I think he ended up using like 1 of them.
That's crazy.
And that was that. I was on his mixtape was Clash of the Titans. So I got on that project. That actually got me in touch with DJ Paul too. I reached out to him. I was like, that song you did with Drummer Boy, I produced that. So he followed me. I got his email. I was sending him stuff. Nothing track-wise materialized from that. But that's how I would like move, like just kind of piggybacking off of, if I get in touch with a big artist and they put like a feature on it, like a Benny the Butcher or a Conway or something like that, then I would reach out to that artist that was featured on it, be like, yo, that track you did, I'm the one that produced it. And they was like, oh, okay. So we exchanged contact. That's what I did with, my like a lot of my work with like Lloyd Banks. He featured a lot of Griselda, Conway, Benny the Butcher, and then I bring it to them.
I don't want to cut you off, but I got to go down this list real fast. Just the resume. Let's go down the resume real fast of the people, the artists you have worked with so far.
It's a lot of them, man. I don't want to leave nobody off. But,
Man, talk that talk. We hear Cartoon.
Most
we
notably,
hear.
Lloyd Banks. I want to say his debut from his break, because everybody knows he took a break for a while. He came back with Course of the Inevitable 1. I had 3 on there. I did Sidewalks. I did Empathy featuring Freddie Gibbs. And then I did, what was the other one? It was Sidewalks, Empathy. Honestly, in the last 3 years, I have 21, maybe 22 tracks with Lloyd Banks, so sometimes I forget.
Okay.
But that segued into Course of the Inevitable 2. I started working more closely with Banks, got his number, was sending, and I think I did 8 songs on Course of the Inevitable 2, and then like 7 or another 8 on Course of the Inevitable 3. So, I mean, since his return to hip hop, I pretty much produced almost half of everything that he has out. So
Wow.
That was, he's obviously, he's Lloyd Banks, so that's a big deal to me. Working with RJ Payne, he kind of segued me to a lot of other artists too, like Method Man, Inspector Deck. Lloyd Banks songs has led to, features with Conway, Benny the Butcher. RJ Payne has led to, Method Man, Ice-T, Bun B, all on the tracks that I produced. Again, I know I'm going to forget some people. I just did a single for legendary Smith & Wesson called 50/50.
Shout out to Tech and them. Those are my guys, man. They've been on the show, so I know what they're about. Them dudes is those my guys.
Yeah,
shout
like
out to
super
Smith & Wesson,
cool
man.
People. Also with the resume, I mean, like I said, it's just a lot of people. I was on Neek Bucks from Harlem. I was just on his album, Thankful. I did the title track, Thankful, for that, which is, different than people are kind of used to hearing me in the boom bap lane, but they don't know that I actually started out making like, melodic trap beats.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you what you enjoy more, like the boom bap lane or like I like melodic stuff. I'm into the ladies, man.
For me, it's a combination. I like being like versatile. Like I don't like people right now. They associate me so heavily with boom bap because of who I'm working with and stuff like that. Yeah. But especially this year, they're gonna hear a lot more like different vibes that I'm working on. Neek Bucks, like that song is still doing well. And again, that's not like a traditional boom bap song. So I thought that was a good introduction to let people know I do, a lot of other stuff. I do R&B beats too. Working with a singer from Louisville, Mars, who signed to RCA. She's super, super fire. So I got
What's her name?
Mars.
Mars is her name?
Mars, yeah, Marzz. And yeah, she's fire. She's super fire. So I'm working with her. Working with a lot of people right now. Just trying to build my catalog, expand the resume. I'm working with Rakim's son, Tamel.
Rakim? About the guard Rakim?
The guy Rakim. He just got a pack of my beats the other day. I got an EP with his son, Tamel.
Is his son nice?
Yeah, his son, he's fire.
He is he equivalent to his dad?
That's tough shoes to fill.
I mean, I'm just saying, you like, listen. I didn't know he had a son that rap.
Yeah, he does.
Word?
Yeah, he's from the island, but he's from CT too. But yeah, me and him got a nice little 3-4 song EP. So that's already done. He dropped off a pack of my beats to Rakim. Rakim, like he rocked with him. So so I'm just waiting on that. Method Man picked out a few of my beats. A lot of stuff. Oh, I didn't even mention I work with Terminology too. Okay. So he did a joint album with Paul Wall, Start, Finish, Repeat. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Paul Wall. Paul Wall be on my show next week. I just talked. His man's name is Goo.
Yeah, I finally met Paul Wall in person.
Shout out to Paul Wall.
The crazy thing is, like, me and Paul Wall actually went back to like 2016. We followed each other on Twitter. That was my tool I was using, and we was DMing back and forth about like getting some work done, and stuff happens.
People be busy.
Yeah,
it'd be scheduling. It'd be. I know how because I was supposed to have Paul on the show. He live in Houston where I live.
Right.
So he's supposed to come on the show, and that's my word. I talked to Goo like 5 weeks straight, and every time we keep missing each other.
Yeah,
and that's just how people. Shout out to Paul
music
Wall.
is full circle. I noticed that it brings you back around. Like, and then I ended up doing the track with Terminology, Paul Wall, and Nems. Start, Finish, Repeat. Title track.
It's about Nems from Coney Island.
Yeah,
I like Nems.
Yeah, he's dope too.
Yeah, he's super dope. Shout out to Nems.
So yeah, I did that track, and again, like I ended up with like Paul Wall on the beat. I took his contact information, started sending him stuff too. But I'm working. I'm just building my resume, building my name. Getting in the doors of his
I mean, you saying you working and build, like your resume's already there. You got. I gotta know how I feel to win the Billboard plaque. I ain't never won a Billboard plaque.
That was cool, and I got both of them from Banks. I'm hoping I'm gonna get some more in my future.
That's
I'm
a
working.
fact.
But the first one was for A Course to the Inevitable 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was a crazy feeling because at that time that was my biggest placement, and sometimes your biggest placement is just your biggest placement because of the artist. But when you start to you get something from it like a Billboard award or a Billboard plaque because it charted, those are important. And I think especially as a producer, it's important to celebrate like your accomplishments. You don't know when you'll get back on a Billboard, or you don't know when you'll get to like a certain
The
place.
average person doesn't know nothing about getting on a Billboard. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, let's talk about it here. We don't say we're a podcast. Definitely want to give your flowers. Definitely want to give your roses because like that's a major, major accomplishment.
Right, and for me, like I love those things because they allow you to be decorated as like a producer, but I also love the music. I'm working with older artists, younger artists that both that some that I grew up listening to. That's what's important to me because it's crazy to I grew up in the G Unit era, and then to be doing as much work
with Lloyd, that's
Lloyd
crazy.
Banks as I am now is just like
I think he's the best
crazy.
one. I think he's the best one out of them though.
Yeah, lyrically, I don't think
he's definitely the best. He's definitely the best one.
Debate that.
I ain't going front.
Back to the plaques, it's funny because I'm in a healthy competition. I got a twin brother, 800 Hertz, that produces too, and congrats to him. He just got his third Billboard placement.
Wow.
With Meek Mill's artist Kerr.
Okay.
He just released the album called Thorough, and my brother had a joint in there, and I saw that charted on like Heat Seekers, so he's getting a plaque. So now I got 2, and he has 3. So now I'm like, all right, I see you now. I got to.
Now you got to step your game up.
But yeah, I got a healthy competition like that. It's also great to have a close sibling that's in the same industry as you, working towards the same things. So again, shout out to my brother 800 Hertz. But yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just building my resume and trying to kick in doors.
For all these producers out here right now, what advice would you give to them trying to get into the game? Even on the business side, the publishing, all that, like what would you say to them?
Oh man, learn it first, because the average person in music, they learn about the business through a bad experience. They learn like from something, paperwork not being done, something getting, something not happening like the way that it was supposed to go. So look into that stuff beforehand. If you have all that information before you get like a big placement or something like that, it helps you. Get a lawyer. A lawyer is the most important. Some people think a manager is the most important thing as a producer, and it's
Niggas,
not.
You got to lawyer up, man.
Lawyer first, because
I ain't gonna lie.
you got to make sure your paperwork is right, your contracts is right. It doesn't help you got a hit song and then you don't get anything from it, and then it costs to chase down people and stuff like that. So that's my first set of advice, is learn the business first if you can. Second set of advice is use your networks, social media, Twitter, Instagram. You can't be too cool. What I've been doing in the last 3 years, sometimes you got to show up to shows, to meet some of these artists in person. The game has become so digital now that, people getting placements with all these artists that they don't even have a direct contact to. They never seen, they never met because it's through a collab. Go out of your way to try to get, personal contacts and build the relationships, because the relationships are going to keep you getting, the placements and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I could probably do a whole segment on, my advice to upcoming producers, but those are the main things. Try to learn the business, be humble, be personable, and just use whatever tools that you have, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter. Don't worry about what it looks like to people if you tweeting things like even with my resume, I'm still tweeting at artists like, yo,
That's a fact.
hit me with a follow. I'm trying to send you a pack. I'm not too
You're not too Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm not too Hollywood to do that. And sometimes, you might not get an answer. Maybe they don't see it or they don't know. And then, as you build your resume, a lot of those DMs get answered, and people reach out. I mean, I've been to shows. I got a lot of, direct phone numbers now. People like Jadakiss and, those are like hip hop legends. They don't do that for everybody.
Nah, Jada definitely don't do that. Shout out to Jada, but I gotta say that because Jadakiss definitely don't do that. I know personally, he'd be like, nah, son, I'm not fooling with them niggas.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got it takes time, and you got to put in your work. You got to build your resume, and there has to be a body of work to show for it. But you know, your name, like I always tell people, like your name always starts moving faster than you think.
And that's a fact.
There's times I've been at shows introducing myself to artists as like my first time introducing to them, and they're like, "Oh, yo, I heard."
They know who you are.
Yeah, so
I
that's
get
a
that
cool feeling
too.
too.
I be getting that a lot too though. Like, oh, I know. I be like, oh, word. I be like, no, because you done. I be like, hello, I'm JoJo. Next to me, but I know who you are.
Right,
I be
right,
like,
right.
okay, because on the real, like people paying attention. G.
Right.
Like niggas is like people really be paying attention. Like really what's going on, especially like somebody like you. I mean, you on the Billboard. Like you got motion, you got traction. So you think, come on, son. It's like people really are like paying attention.
Right.
Who you want to work with right now? Who's some like? Just to throw some names out there, we don't say word. Who you want to work with?
My list right now, I definitely want to get into some of like the down south rap, like the
Like
know
who?
like the big. Let me see, like the Futures. I mean, you know, the mainstream. I definitely, because I'm doing so much boom bap and the underground stuff, I'm starting to get to a point where there's only like so much more I can do in that lane. You know, so I want to transition into like some of the mainstream. You know, like the Dirks, the French Montanas, the you know, the people that make a lot of like the more mainstream music, obviously like the Drakes. I don't even know. Like I had a situation where I was pretty close to. I'm allowed to say I was pretty close to a Drake placement. That
A word?
A record was cut and it just didn't make the project. That was through, but that was through a collab with a producer I have a relationship with, who was shout out to AK. He was on like Dirk's last album, but it's things like that. Like, you know, you gotta keep going, and every now and then it doesn't hurt to network, and sometimes you do have to you got to build with other people, other producers, but you don't want that to carry you. You don't want your career to be carried by just nothing but collabs, because that means now you got to send the collab, then you got to wait for somebody else to do it.
Well,
you want to try to build your own relationships too.
I'm not trying to cut you. When you say collab, like how does that go? Is that more like producers come together?
Yeah, like I might make a melody and then the other producer might do like the drums. They'll finish it and then they send it.
Oh, that happens?
Go look at all the last mainstream
word.
albums that you heard. Go check the producer list for that. And it's getting crazy now. This is 9 to 10 producers on one track. Like people like Kanye.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's really where the game is right now. It's like a lot of collab, at least for like a lot of the upcoming.
How does I don't this space? How does the money work with that though? Do you got to split it up?
Yeah, you absolutely got to split it, and it depends.
No, I'm definitely curious, like, cause that sounds like a Wu-Tang type of thing. Like
It actually depends too, because sometimes let's say like I have a relationship with Lloyd Banks. I get producers hit me all the time. I want a placement. Can I send you melodies? So if somebody sends me like a melody and I make the beat and then I place it with Banks, like I then kind of like. I personally wouldn't do it. I would just do like, if publishing is 50-50, I would do 25 for me, 25 for the other producer. There's other producers out there that's like,
bang you over the head.
yeah, they like, all right, I'll take 40, you take 10 because I got you the placement.
Okay.
And you know, and that happens in those big.
Yeah, I know niggas like that. Niggas
in
be
those
trying
big-
to like niggas like I ain't gonna front. People be
in big like
I ain't like that
in
though.
big placements, like, you know, you get somebody get you a Drake placement. It's like, yo, am I going to turn down 10%, which is still going to be a crazy amount, just to say I want my
Just to
25?
say, yeah.
Or so you really got to you got to pick and choose, and you got to be smart. But you just have to utilize that. Like once you get the Lloyd Banks placement, even if it's like through me or something like that, you reach out to him yourself and then see if you can get his contact. And then your next placement, it might not be through a collab with me, but that's something that I learned and that, you know, I utilize, because I never want to just rely on a collab, because that means you're relying on somebody else to get you your placements. You know, you might have to do that to build your resume, but you want to build those relationships on your own, and that way, you know, that opens up doors for you. So, you know, that's another producer gem right there.
That's crazy. But I ain't gonna lie though, like dudes be doing that, because dudes be hitting me all the time like, yo, man, I'm probably just a good guy, because I don't think I'm even saying this though, but who cares? Like dudes hit me like, yo, I'm trying to get in contact with what's her name. I'll send you like 2,500. I'll be like, nah, I got you. I reach out to them amount. I do it for free.
Yeah, there's people like that, and that's
because I'll be like, because a lot of times the level of the person, it depends on the level of the person too.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be.
It depends like on the level. The level of the person's like something like we could do like a barter thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, you gonna send me how much? Now don't worry about it, son. Don't send me the 2,500. I'll reach out to them and then we'll work something out, because I might need them for something down the line.
Right, and that's what I do. Like, especially right now, I help connect RJ with tech from Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
obviously I get hit up for like Lloyd Banks all the time. If I can connect him with an artist and he's willing, I'd be like, yo, we're also working with this artist, but Banks, they trying to get a track. You know, if you interested, you know, just shoot him a DM. And you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not out here like, I've had like mainstream, I'm not gonna say who, like asked for like, yo, I'm trying to get back in Banks. Can I get his new number?
Yeah, niggas be asking.
And I'm just like, yeah, I like, yo, send him a DM. Yeah, send him a DM. I'll let him know that you're reaching out. But you got to be careful like that too, because you got to protect your relationship.
Yeah, because you like, you could mess up your relationship with a person.
Absolutely.
People actually, yo, no lie, son. Word is bond. Like people ask for people number every single day.
Yeah.
Like I be having people direct numbers.
Yeah, that happens to me
like,
too.
Like T.I. just text me like, yo, March 22nd, this is what we doing. Like, and I don't even want to give nobody number out, but I could charge somebody like $5,500 just for his number.
And at the end of the day, it's like is that you know, $5,500 or whatever, is that worth the relationship?
Nah, it's not. It's definitely not worth the relationship. But like that's what people don't understand this industry. G, it's about relationships, man. Like,
it is. I
be telling dudes, people like, Dad, Joe, you connected to everybody. I was like, because I got a good relationship with people.
That's really all it is.
Like I get along with everybody. I ain't on no type of crazy goofy time.
Yeah, you have to be about your business, but also like I already know. Like I'm as a producer, I make the beat. I'm a connector. There could be two artists that want to work with each other, but because of like, you know, ego, they fans of each other, but nobody want to reach out and say like, yo, I want to do a song with you.
Niggas is funny style.
I'll be the one that's like, yo, I'm already working with Banks. Like, yo, RJ, why don't y'all do a song together?
I think Method Man and Banks would be something crazy though.
Yeah, Method Man and Banks worked on Course to the Inevitable 3.
Okay.
They got a song already.
Did you do the track?
Nah. I think V Don did that.
Okay. That'd have been crazy.
Yeah, like Meth is another. He's super humble, super cool.
Yeah, Meth is cool.
So yeah, he's another one. I'm sending like, you know, beats left and right. But like Styles P is another cool person. Like we don't even have a track together, but like when Styles P has shows and stuff like that, like him, his manager, they make sure I'm in there.
Okay.
I'm fine and things like that. Like, you know, I don't gotta be like standing on line. So they're cool. There's a lot of cool people in the industry. So I try to remember that too. Like I try to remember when I'm treated well and there's, you know, people that look out for me. I do what I can for like other people. There's even times like other producers hit me up like, yo, can you got a second to just listen to a beat real quick and give me advice?
Yeah.
I can't do that for everybody, but every now and then I will. So I try to be, humble about it.
I'm gonna put you on the spot before we get you up out of here, man. Since you one of the super producers out here, and I don't want this to ruin your relationship with nobody. But let's say word, them niggas know me. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. You gotta give me your answer. It's gonna be all hip hop though. First question is, Drummer Boy or Kanye?
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, I'm gonna have to say because I've spoken with Drummer Boy and I've worked with him. I'm gonna have to say Drummer because you know I've spoken with him, I work with him, and you know.
All right. Next question is Outkast or UGK?
Oh, that's tough too. That's tough. I'm gonna have to go Outkast on that one.
All right.
That's just me. Next
question is Helter Skelter or Smith & Wesson?
That's tough too, but I'm gonna have to say Smith & Wesson. That's like I said, man, 50-50 out now on all platforms. That's the new single I got with Smith & Wesson, but I'm going to go with them.
Next one is Jada or Scarface?
Ooh.
I'm giving you tough ones because you be in the booth with these dudes. Like, I'm trying to, like, I want your mind to stretch.
But, you know, by heart, I'm a New Yorker, so Jada.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Got to go with Jada on that.
All right. That's the last one, Tupac or Biggie?
That's tough, too. Because them, I listen to equally all of that stuff together, but I'm going to have to go big on that one.
Yo, y'all heard what he said? They say word. We got Billboard, producer, super producer, Cartune Beatz. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share. We in Long Island. Amityville, my guy, appreciate you. I know you super busy, man. You know, we locked in, man.
Definitely appreciate you having me, man. And, you know, again, shout out to all the artists I mentioned. Shout out to all the artists I didn't. I got a ton of stuff I'm working on, and you know, just keep an eye out for it. It's on the way, and you know, we'll be in touch. You'll see when I post and stuff, and you know, if I got anything else that I know that's coming up, I'll make sure I give you a heads up and let you know.
That's a fact. Y'all know what it is. Say word. We up out of here.
Peace.